nonstop hustling, trying to get as many gigs, whether it was student film, background. I was applying to like easily 300 roles a month because I was like, I took all the feelings out of it. It's like, it's a numbers game. I've over 300 that I knew I could fit the role. And then out of that 300, I might get like 30 callbacks. And then out of that 30 callbacks, I might book 3.
All right, so welcome back to the Film Goals Podcast. Today I'm with the one and only Allie, the Gran Finali.
Gran Finali.
A.k.a. Allie
B.
B. She don't want to say her personal
My full government name.
So Allie is, I met you being as an actress, and you also do photography.
I do.
And some other cool stuff.
So many other things.
But the first question I want to ask is, what got you into the film industry? What was your motivation? What was the inspiration?
The film industry, I mean, it's going to sound cliche, like anyone, like when I was a child, which is part of it. I always loved movies and I loved writing stories. And every night when I would go to bed, I would visualize these stories. And so as I got older, I'm like, I've been making movies in my head, since like I was a kid, and I've always loved writing. I wrote stories when I was a kid. So now after I've kind of gone through this journey with photography, and I'm seeing how a lot of the same principles easily translate into cinematography and filmmaking, because you got to have the composition, the lighting, all of that, colors, it all is, a part of it. And then I'm like, oh, I really want to do movies, And so I know it takes so much work to be a cinematographer or videographer. It's like, yeah, I'd like to learn more of those skills, but at the same time, I want to know enough to know I'm hiring someone good to do it, because I really like the director's seat, because then you're overseeing all of it to make sure the final product looks like how you envisioned.
So, did you start with photography or with acting? What was your first?
Photography.
Okay.
Because after I left active duty, that's what I was going to school for. But then I also did like crime scene photography when I was in the military. So that's what taught me the basics. And then I'd always loved it when I was a kid, but couldn't afford a camera. We were po. So I would make little sets and pretend I was taking pictures.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What did you take pictures of? What was the sets?
My dog. But I like made a beach scene for her. Like I put a little like bikini on her and made a beach and everything.
Okay,
yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the best subjects.
Yeah.
So, what got you into acting?
Well, I always loved acting. I did theater when I was a kid, and I wanted to pursue it more, but, like typical American family, your parents are like, no, you need to get a real job. So I did the real job thing. But yes, acting is a real job. Don't want to discount anybody because it's work. And I was like, well, now that I'm out of the military, what is it I want to pursue? And I thought back, what made me happy before the military? The arts, acting, painting, drawing, writing, just creating. So that's why I was like, I'm going to do it.
That's cool. What was the first thing that, other than photography, what was the first thing you jumped into with
acting?
Yeah, with acting or filmmaking.
Let's see. I did modeling for a bit. So I was in front of the camera and behind the camera, and that made me more comfortable with the acting part. And then I was a background actor for this feature film. And I drove out to California to just be there on set all day. Like it was 12 hours. Yeah. And you're only going to pay like $50.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. But I was just like, oh, but I'm here. And I got to see like this action film being made. And it was like one of the, was it one of the Mortal Kombat guys from like back in the 90s is the main character.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so I was like, wait a minute, I know that guy. And I was like, yep, that was my first like acting job.
Your first time being on set?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's awesome.
Like a legit set.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a real set. No, that's cool. So then what have you been doing lately? Like, are you doing auditions? Are you sending tapes and all that
just
stuff?
Came back from doing my reserve time out in Hawaii. So I had built up a lot of momentum. I was doing some big projects before I left, and then it's like, poof, it all stopped. So now that I'm back, I haven't done any auditions since I've been back, but I'm picking out ones. I'm like, okay, well, I need new headshots because I'm blonde now. So.
So how long have you been active? Are you still how long are you
been in the military?
Yeah.
So I was active 14 years, and I've been a reservist for 2.
Oh, okay. And then after that, you're done, or?
Retired. Well, after 20 years. So a total of 20, then I'll be retired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. And you go full force on acting.
I cannot wait.
So what was the first things that you did when you like decided like, okay, I want to pursue acting? Like what was some of the first steps that you took?
I found some acting classes, or scene study classes is what they were here in Vegas. And then I've done some online ones that are based out of LA, and just really nonstop hustling, trying to get as many gigs as I could, whether it was student film, background. I was applying to like easily 300 roles a month. Yeah. Because I was like, I took all the feelings out of it. It's like, it's a numbers game. I've over 300 that I knew I could fit the role. And then out of that 300, I might get like 30 callbacks. And then out of that 30 callbacks, I might book 3.
And where are you looking?
Actors Access, Casting Network, Casting Frontier. I was on Backstage, but I never booked anything. So after a year, I was like, nah.
You got to pay for all those? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it adds up?
It does, but with like Actors Access, you pay like, I think it's like $80 for a whole year. So if you get like 1 or 2 gigs, like it pays for itself. Yeah. And then Casting Network, I think that one's monthly. Casting Frontier maybe too.
And what are some cool roles that you've been able to do?
Oh man,
since you started?
One of the bigger projects I got to do, I signed an NDA, so I can't say much about it.
Oh, the fun one you can't say. What are some other ones that you can't say?
Let's see. I got to do some print work for Disney. Yeah. So I was like, hey, got to dress up as like a VIP tour guide.
Oh, okay.
And so might see me on their online on their site, stuff like that. What are the like movies? There's a couple short films that I've been in that are making the film festival circuit. One is like I want to say like a psychological kind of like dark, little bit of a thriller maybe. And then the other one's complete comedy.
That's the one you showed me, right? It's like the musical.
The Cheerios ad, yeah.
Okay. It's like an ad. It's like that one's really funny, and it's not out yet because it's going through the thing, right? Oh, okay. That's cool.
They're trying to make a full musical out of it. So if they get enough money, they have a Kickstarter now. Kickstarter? I think it is Kickstarter. No, I think it may be Kickstarter.
What's the name of it?
Interracial couple in a Cheerios ad. Yeah.
Longest name ever.
It's like anime title.
Yeah. It won't be hard to find.
No, you can find it on YouTube.
Okay, that's cool. Oh, so like their Kickstarter stuff.
Yeah, so, well, no, the commercial you can find on YouTube, but their Kickstarter, if you want to support and make it a full-blown, because they have other songs, they have other, like, stuff they want to put into it, make a full musical. It's hilarious.
Okay, that's cool. So talk about, like, your personal short film, because I know you directed and wrote. So what was that about, and, like, what was the process?
That one was a mix of my own personal experience, having joined the military shortly after 9/11 happened. And it's a mix of other people's stories, of other veterans or people I know that are active duty. And it starts off about, a girl who just graduated high school, doesn't really know what to do with her life. So she's like, I'm going to join the military. It's time of peace. And then boom, 9/11 happens. And like the whole world changes, and she finds herself like in a war zone, right out of high school.
Damn.
Yeah. And
that's what happened to you?
Mine was right out of college.
Oh, okay.
But I remember my freshman year when the attacks happened, and we were in ROTC, and we were like, oh my gosh, are they going to call us in? Because we're wearing uniforms.
Yeah.
Like we're considered a part. And they're like, nah, you're good. They'll call the Boy Scouts before you. So I was still faced with the really fast tempo after I graduated, though. Like as soon as I got to my first base, it was like, boom, like I was out the door. in Iraq.
Okay. In Iraq. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And what is the name of the film?
It's called Airmen.
Airmen.
Because I was in the Air Force. Yeah.
Okay. Damn, that's cool. And how is it going? Because you put it into festivals and all that?
I did. We've won. I should really tally it. I think about 7 or 8 awards.
Nice.
For like best war film, best original concept, I think the best original story like a couple times. So like the writing people are liking, the story, because it's a different kind of war story. You know,
and you wrote all by yourself. You wrote it and you directed it and all that.
So I wrote, directed, and then also my friend Logan, she also helped with that.
Oh, okay. With the writing and directing.
I wrote, directed, and she definitely helped. She was like the assistant director, and then with the writing, yeah, I basically wrote it. But she was there to be like, you know, if there's any tweaks or anything.
Yeah, like editor type thing.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, and then like, what was your process of? It was your very first short film.
So the 48-hour film project I did in 2021, and that was my first one, like introduction to it, and that's what got me hooked.
Okay.
And so I was like, we could do this. She came to me with the idea. I'm like, let's do it. And so I just, boom, started writing it out. And like, I'm telling you, we have no idea what we're doing. So we're just like, yeah, I saw people doing this on another set. We got to have like a shot list and, like the call sheet. We're like, yeah, those are words we've heard, Like we're having to Google up all the terms. Like, are we doing this right?
Yeah. And that was for the 48.
No, that was for my own short film.
What did you do on the 48?
So the 48, I worked with, I think like 9 other people, and I only knew like 2 of them before I started working with them. So it was really cool to have just a bunch of strangers come together, and we had film noir was our category. So our main character was suffering. He was in amnesia. He was suffering from amnesia, but he was stuck in a memory loop. And
you acted, or
yeah, I acted. Okay. So again, wrote, directed, acted.
Oh, you did for that one? Oh, okay, that's cool. So that's what got you. That's cool. And then you guys just kind of figured it out for your personal one.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What'd you guys shoot on? You remember?
What did we shoot on? I think we shot on a Sony, but Gabe was my cinematographer. He rented a camera for us to work with.
Okay, that's cool. And how did you find like everyone?
Went to the mixers, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be a team lead and director. Like, what do you have to offer? Like, oh, you do cinematography. You're the camera person. Oh, you like to act. Just brought it together.
What about for your personal one?
For our personal
one,
are
you acting in the personal one?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're the main in that one too?
No, I'm not the main in that one.
Okay.
No, I was a supporting actor.
So how'd you find your crew and cast for that one?
We actually did a little bit of a casting call. We even did a chemistry read. So, I mean, we had very few actors in that one. So there was a couple friends we reached out to. But we definitely did like a chemistry read for the father-daughter combination.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. And how was after the process was all done, how'd you feel? And
oh, man, the post-production took a while. Because you want to make sure it's done how you envisioned it. So there's a lot of little tweaks you have to do. Like if you want the coloring right, because that's a part of that sets the mood, And then it's like, I mean, we just got like a little trailer and a poster done, and it's already been like a year, but it's been in the film festival circuit. But I want to finally be able to give everyone who's there, like, here's a poster, you could use this or print it out or something. So post-production can take a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
And so when I've thought about, doing my own video and editing, I'm like, I was like, I'd love to have that skill, but man, it takes so long to get to that level like you're at, to where it's like, oh my, that's thousands of hours.
So you hired an editor and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
I was like, trust me. I was like, I am not on that level. I had to know where my boundaries were on my skill level.
Yeah, well, that's like the hard part too, because sometimes you gotta like go out and reach out to other people and do it for you, and it's like it's time and money. Like it is. Yeah, that's why it takes.
They were the biggest part of our budget.
The editors, the editing, and stuff, post production, and then music and all that stuff. Or how did you guys?
So interestingly enough, we didn't have but one piece of music in there. And it was a Jody that we recorded ourselves doing as a group.
Oh, what? A Jody?
A Jody.
What
so
is
in
that?
the military, it's when you see the groups of troops running.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're like singing.
Oh, so you guys recorded that and made it the song. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And people can't see it yet, right?
No, not yet.
When do you plan to release it? Or are you waiting for...
We wanted to give it a year on the
Okay.
film circuit and, you know, try and get some awards to be like, hey, people like our stuff. Can we pitch it to you? You know?
Yeah. Also, you have an idea for a feature off of it?
Yeah, we want to, well, not a feature. We want to do a television series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what would it like entail? What would be the story for it?
It would be an ensemble cast, and it would be basically kind of like how it started. You know, a high school graduate going into basic training, and you're immediately seeing just like the craziness that it is. And then you start to get to peek behind the veil of what the personal lives are like with these military people. And then boom, 9/11 happens. And because this is coming off of like 2001, there were a lot of scandals that happened during that time. There was a whole don't ask, so don't tell that eventually got, you know, changed. So a lot had happened around that time frame.
Yeah, that'd be a cool thing to see. Have you seen anything similar to that or no?
No.
Wow. Yeah.
So I'm copywriting it. Don't take my idea.
Don't take her idea. That's cool. Well, I can't wait to see that.
I want to do a screening. Might do like the Millennium Fandom Bar, the director's cut that they have every month.
Okay, yeah.
That'd be
Can't
cool.
wait for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So talk about your photography. Like, what is your style, and like, what do you like to shoot?
So I am all over the board when it comes to photography. I'm getting my Master of Fine Arts in Photography, and all the time they're like, you need to pick a lane. Like, you know, what are you focusing on? I'm like, all the things. Because I love to create, but I understand what they're trying to say. I like fine art. I like fashion, but I have more of a like natural feel, and I'm still expanding like what my artistic style is, because for a lot of my stuff, it's very dark and macabre, like kind of scary or centered around death and stuff like that.
Shit. I haven't seen that.
No, it's not really out there.
Okay. I've seen some other ones. I haven't seen.
Yeah, you see like the happy, the smiley,
and like the artistic ones, kind of like yeah.
There's a couple ones that I put out there, but the darker ones, I haven't really put out there.
Okay. Why?
Because I think I'd rather put it on like a professional website under a fine art category. Because if I just throw it out there and people are like, what is this? Like, weird. Does she need help?
Do you plan on like, what is your goal with photography? Like, what kind of job, or do you just want to be like freelance and do anything you want?
I think for now, freelance and do whatever I want, because that was why I left active duty. I just want the freedom for now. And I think maybe after a few years and I get a lot more experience under my belt, then I might have a better idea of what to focus on.
Because the stuff you talk about, like macabre or fine art stuff, it kind of sounds like maybe like a gallery or something like that.
I would love to be in a gallery.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Love to do gallery.
So let's talk about your podcast and everything else that you got going on. What do you like to talk about on your podcast? Who do you have on? And what made you want to do it?
So my podcast, the Unclassified Podcast, is what it's called. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. I'm a little behind on posting on those, but if you want to keep up to date, it's on my Instagram. So I load it up every week. Its focus is, my tagline is called, declassifying life outside the 9 to 5. So I started it because when I left active duty, there's not a lot, you lose a lot of your community, and you're like, well, who do I, talk to? Who can I relate to? And also there's even fewer veterans that choose like the artistic pathway. A lot of them might go into other 9 to 5, stuff like that. And I'm like, no, I want to show them that it's possible. Like, or don't get scared, go after your dreams. Don't fall back into it. So trying to build another community to show people like, no, you can't. People are doing it,
Yeah, that's awesome. I like your tagline. I was like, when you said that, I was like, damn, man, I need a tagline.
Yeah, you gotta have one.
Well, that's cool. No, I like that. Because people like kind of get kind of stuck in a 9 to 5 and just the grind, and then there's no
is.
outlet, and people just like,
They get worn out.
yeah, and it's
burnt out.
I don't know. At least for me, I know for us, like we're creative. Like we
Mm-hmm.
gotta have that outlet outside
Yes.
of work. And
Even
like,
out of your creative outlets, you got to have another outlet.
I need to find one. Because all I do is work and then my own shit.
Yeah, when they become one, it's like, oh, now I need to find a new outlet.
Oh, yeah.
And then you try stand-up comedy.
Oh, is that what? That's what you did? Okay.
Yeah, I
let's talk
tried
about
it.
that.
Yeah. A few months ago, I tried stand-up comedy for the first time, and I loved it because you have an audience, so you still get to be kind of like the center of attention, but there's not a lot of like, sitting and waiting and prepping. Like you get on there and you hit it. Like it's live, it's raw, so, and then you're having that connection with the people. So it's kind of like theater, but not.
It's like live performance.
Yeah,
that's hard.
yeah.
Do you remember what you talked about?
I did. I talked about
All right.
relationships.
Give it to us. Give us your opening liner.
Gosh. It was horrible. I was talking about like how I must have, be a sadist or something coming up here, putting myself through this pain. And then I'm a masochist for like putting them through the pain. And then
Of what? Of being with you?
Yeah, listening to my stand up.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about relationships.
No, it leads
you
into
got
that.
into it. Okay.
Yeah, it leads into it. So that was my opening
Mm-hmm.
of just like all these different kinks, and just to be like, I grew up in a normal household. Yeah, that's why I go to therapy. And I don't see them enough because I only see them for 45 minutes a week. So let's talk about relationships since I don't have enough time with them. And so that's how I kind of like led into it.
How long did you go for?
5 minutes.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's actually a long time.
It goes by so fast because I know I can talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like after I got through like the first part, which was kind of stiff, and started winging it more, then it felt really comfortable.
Did you get laughs?
I'd got
Or
a
it
few
booed?
laughs. Yeah, exactly. And what was another one I was saying that
Yeah, what was your biggest laugh? Do you remember
when
it?
I was telling them that at first they felt bad. I turned it on them because I was like, yeah, my ex-boyfriend, I told him he was autistic, and they're like, oh, and I'm like, hey, don't worry, I took the same test. I was scored higher than him. The call's coming from inside the house. It takes one to know one, And so then I got them laughing.
Okay.
Because at first they're like, oh. But I was like, yeah, no, I definitely would do it again.
Okay, that's cool.
Mhm.
Damn. So you're finding different outlets outside
Yeah.
of like where you already do your creative stuff
Mhm.
and your 9 to 5 stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So anything else that you got going on now?
Yeah, I'm actually writing a web series that I want to put out on YouTube.
Dope.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about? Tell us.
It's kind of, how to describe it? I should be better at this when people ask. It's a story about a story, so it's like a little bit of Inception. It's you think you're watching a cop show, but it's the making of a cop show, but in like the indie film world, and making fun of all of these struggles we have in the indie world. Like if you don't have a budget and you just trying to make do, be like, oh man, like why are they down to only one extra? It's like you see the same person in like every shot, like that's
It's a comedy.
Yeah, it's a
I
comedy.
think we talked about this before.
It's not to be taken seriously at all.
Yeah, that's cool. How many have you written anything yet?
Yes. So I wanted to make sure I had 2 seasons written before we actually started putting anything together. So that way when we start filming, we can try and knock out as much as we can and have it stocked up.
How many episodes? Each
The
season?
first season has like 7 episodes. I don't know how many episodes are supposed to go into a season.
As many as you want.
Okay,
Except
7.
one.
It's a good number.
Just one episode. In the first season, 1 episode.
Yep.
No, that's cool. Yeah, so we did a web series. I don't know if you I think I talked to you about it a little bit. Yeah, we did 2 seasons, and the first season was 10 episodes.
Oh, how long were each episodes?
Like 10 minutes
that's
tops.
long. That's
10
a
to
lot.
12 minutes. That's long?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Just because I know how like the editing and how much film that actually is to like cut down to 10 minutes.
It was fun though. We did 2 seasons, and then the second season it was only 5 episodes, and like I wrote and directed all of them.
Oh,
And it was
okay.
kind of like, so like the first one was kind of like we're in the studio and like all of us were kind of like collaborating and stuff. And then the studio we were working at, what was like based on the series was based on the studio we were working at. It got shut down. So then the second season, it was like a couple of years went by, and I was like, I want to like end it. Like I want to have an end, like a period to this like story or whatever. So then I was like, and I just kind of wrote it, and then we shot it, and yeah, it was cool. Nice. It was kind of like the end. So 2 seasons, and then people were always like, oh, you should make another one, and I'm like, I don't have any more stories, but if you guys want to, I'm down.
Oh, I'm gonna have stories for days with this show. So we have 4 seasons that we've thought of already, possibly 6, but.
And who's we? You and who you working with?
Trinity.
Okay.
You know her.
Yeah, I know Trinity.
She's helping me write it, and then she's gonna help produce it. So it'll be cool.
That's cool. Yeah. So both of you guys were extras in my short film. That's how I met you and Trinity. So that's coming out soon. I'll show you some stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, Allie, the grand finale. Thank you for being here. It was awesome. Anything else you want to say real quick? Positive? Leave it on a positive end?
Leaving it on a positive note, man. Just go out there and do what you want to do.
Get creative.
Yeah, get creative.
Peace. See you next time.